All right. What? Yeah, you can wear your sunglasses. Just keep your phones and stuff down.
Good morning. Can everybody please rise for the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to everyone who made today possible. From our building administrative team, custodians, maintenance staff, to our sound and production crew, our secretaries, and the music department, thank you for your care and commitment in preparing for this ceremony. A heartfelt thank you to our outstanding Parsippany Hills teachers, whose tireless work and daily acts of dedication brought us to this moment. Thank you. To all the parents, families, and friends here with us today, and those watching from home, thank you for your unwavering support that you've shown for these graduates through every step of the journey. We also welcome and thank Dr. Superintendent, Dr. Sutter, Board of Education members Jack Rea, Matt DeVito, Sheethel Abraham, and Judy Mayer for being with us here this morning. You can clap, thank you. To the class of 2025. Sometimes when I prepare a message for graduation, it's something that I need to remind myself of, and I hope it offers you something valuable for you. right now as you prepare for the next chapter of your life. This year, the inspiration comes from the book, Hope for Cynics, The Surprising Science of Human Goodness by Jamil Zaki. In it, the author makes a powerful distinction between skepticism and cynicism. Skepticism is healthy. It's a questioning attitude, a challenge to assumptions, and a habit of thoughtful evaluation. It's the skill our teachers and media specialists have encouraged you to develop, how to vet sources, how to think critically, and how to dig for the truth. Cynicism, however, is different. Cynicism assumes the worst in others, that people are only out for themselves and are not sincere. It's easy to slip into cynicism, especially when faced with challenges, disappointment in people, but here's the truth. While cynicism may diagnose the illness in our culture, it rarely points us to the cure. Cynicism preserves the status quo. It says nothing can change. But people who trust, who choose to believe in each other, are the ones who step up to vote, to organize, to challenge injustice, and to shape the world for the better. As the author states, media companies trade in judgment and outrage. Our cynicism is their product, and business is booming. When I get a string of bad news or difficulties, I combat that by thinking of our unified program and the amazing caring students assisting one another. I think of the We Dine Together program, where students make sure that every student has an opportunity for friendship and connection during unit lunch. When social media and critics bring frustration, great people and community provide hope. The psychologist Richard Lazarus wrote, "To hope is to believe that something positive, which does not presently apply to one's life, could still materialize." In other words, hope is a response to problems, not an evasion of them. If optimism tells us things will get better, hope tells us they could. Optimism is idealistic, hope is practical. It gives people a glimpse of a better world and pushes them to fight for it. So graduates, my hope for you is that you will stay skeptical thinkers and continue to take hopeful action to create a strong community. Don't fall into the trap of cynicism. Don't underestimate the power of showing up with trust, courage, and care. It has been an absolute privilege to watch you grow over the last 4 years. I close from the words of Reverend Jesse Jackson that have always stayed with me, and I hope they stay with you. Be tough enough to fight, tender enough to cry, human enough to make mistakes, humble enough to admit them, strong enough to absorb the pain, and resilient enough to bounce back and keep on moving. Thank you. Awesome. By the power vested in me by the state of New Jersey, I hereby certify that all members of the Parsippany Hills High School class of 2025 assembled here have met all the requirements specified by the state of New Jersey and the Parsippany Troy Hills Board of Education, and are therefore eligible to be awarded diplomas as graduates of Parsippany Hills High School. Dr. Sutter, I present to you the class of 2025.
Good morning, everyone, students, families, faculty, staff, and honored guests. I must tell you, in public situations, I'm a man of few words. In private situations, you can't shut me up. So be thankful this is a public situation. So I'll be brief. To the Parsippany Hills High School graduating class of 2025, congratulations. Today marks a tremendous milestone, and it is a joy to celebrate it with you. As superintendent, I have the privilege of watching our students grow from curious young learners into capable, compassionate young adults we see before us today. Each of you has worked hard to reach this moment, and as such, your parents, family members, and our district are so proud of you. Not only of your achievements, but of the people you are becoming. Today, I want to offer you something more than just well wishes. I want to speak to you about the values that you will carry throughout your life. Values that matter far beyond test scores or diplomas. Values like honesty, integrity, and character. In a world filled with distractions, where it's easy to get caught up in an image and instant gratification, honesty stands as a quiet kind of strength. Tell the truth. Speak it kindly. Own your mistakes. Honesty will open doors, build trust, and make your relationships, both personal and professional, so much stronger. Integrity is what you do when no one is watching. It's the invisible thread that connects your actions to your beliefs. It might not always be the easiest path, but it will always be the right one. And your character, your true self, is shaped not in the easy moments, but in the hard ones. It's revealed in how you treat people who can do nothing for you. It's built when you choose to be respectful, responsible, and kind, even when no one gives you credit for it. Now, a bit of advice. Don't sweat the small stuff. Life will throw you curveballs. Not every plan will go as expected. You'll lose things. You'll make mistakes. You'll be tempted to compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel, but don't. Stay grounded. Focus on what truly matters. Zoom out. Keep the big picture in view. And above all, choose kindness. I read a quote by an unknown author which states, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle." I have tried to live my life with this thought in mind, and I hope that you carry this thought with you as well. Graduates, be the person who sees others, who listens, who lifts people up, even when you're still finding your own way. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people with courage, character, heart, and above all, who are kind. Parents, if you are not already doing so, don't be afraid to hug your children every day and hold on to that hug for as long as possible. I say this because there will come a day when your children are no longer around every day and you will miss those hugs dearly. For those mothers and fathers who will be seeing their children off to work, you have done well, as your son or daughter will be providing for themselves. For those parents who are sending their son or daughter off to the military, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I can't think of a greater honor than service to our great country. For those parents seeing their son or daughter off to college, I wish you good luck. But for all of you, let me give you some advice, which I learned the hard way. The day you see your son or daughter off for the first time is much more difficult than you might imagine. Bring plenty of tissues and plenty of support, because it hurts. But it hurts in a good way. As you drive away, you reflect on your life with your child and how fast the time has gone. But take solace in the fact that you did a great job. You succeeded in raising a child into adulthood despite social media, and that's no easy task. As the Assistant Superintendent and now the retiring Superintendent of the Parsippany Troy Hills Township School District, it has been my absolute honor to watch you grow. You represented Parsippany Hills High School, your families, and yourselves with pride. Whether you were a leader on the stage, the field, the robotics team, or quietly in the classroom, you left your mark at PHHS. You are ready to move on to the next challenge. In closing, as you grow in life, in your professional careers, I will leave you with this quote from Abraham Lincoln. President Lincoln said, "Nearly all people can stand adversity, but if you want to test a person's true character, give them power." Graduates, go forward, be honest, be bold, make the world better, one act at a time. Congratulations, class of 2025. We believe in you, we are proud of you, and we'll be cheering for you every step of the way. Good luck and best wishes.
Salutations, family, friends, faculty, distinguished guests, and the class of 2025. Today, it is my honor to welcome you all to our long-awaited graduation. I would like to thank my family, friends, and teachers for supporting me up to this moment. To begin, I would like to frame this occasion as a point of transition in our busy lives. where we can take a moment to pause and reflect. To my fellow graduates, I hope that you can each look back on your unique path, truly appreciate how high you have climbed thus far, and then turn to take in the vast future ahead. We all likely feel different emotions in the face of this change, a mix of excitement, nervousness, fear, and joy, which has intensified over the last few months as we embarked on our bittersweet last as seniors. And now we are greeted with a new challenge, freedom. Freedom to leave our bubble of familiarity here at Par Hills and venture into the unknown, whether it is college, trade force, military, or the workforce. However daunting this may seem, I believe that we are all well equipped to transform our endless opportunities into achievements. As we have journeyed through these 4 years of high school, we have each developed our own comfort zone based on defining aspects of our identity. Of course, it is natural to go deep into your strengths and passions. You may have shined in a sport, had artwork displayed in exhibits, starred in the musical, performed in concerts, or demonstrated your natural abilities in another form or venue. At the same time, I'm sure that we all have memories of pushing ourselves outside of our regular interests to explore new things, sometimes thriving and sometimes failing, but learning either way. Since our teachers here at the Hills taught us to back up our claims with evidence, I'll share a personal story as an example. When I first joined the National Art Honor Society, my interest in art was fully focused on ceramics and sculpture. However, one of the requirements for the club is to paint murals for the school. So this year, I spent my lunches painting the Colosseum with Adele in Dr. Bavacqua's room. And while we made plenty of mistakes along the way, we ended up with a rewarding final product and fond memories of the process. In picking and choosing our favorite subjects, skills, and hobbies, we sometimes close ourselves off to our perceived weaknesses, almost always at the expense of self-growth. I've come to realize that it is important to keep these lines flexible so as to not turn them into barriers. You might remember reading Emerson's Self-Reliance in English class, in which he wrote, "A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines." I have personally memorized this against my will because my friend and our valedictorian Matthew quotes it all the time, but I digress. I find this idea of not being beholden to your own expectations powerful. And in a time when we have unlimited access to information, there is so much to discover without worrying about if it is in character. So I say go forth into the world with strong values, but not so rigid tastes. And finally, for some more general advice, eat your vegetables, wear sunscreen to protect your poor DNA, figure out how to do your own laundry before going off to college, and remember that nothing good happens after 2 a.m. I wish our graduating class success in our future endeavors. Thank you. I would now like to invite to the podium our class president, Gianna Imperati.
Good morning, faculty, administration, Board of Education members, family, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2025. My name is Gianna Imperati, and I know some of you might be surprised to see me standing up here. I mean, if you remember my 4th grade hero presentation, you're probably still laughing with me. Let's just say public speaking has never been anywhere inside my comfort zone, but here I am, shaking slightly and doing it anyway. I stepped out of my comfort zone today, not because I enjoy it. Trust me, I don't. But because I know that growth only happens when we do things that scare us. And that's what I want to challenge all of you to do. Do one thing a day that scares you. Whether it's speaking up in class, applying for a job you don't feel ready for, or talking to someone new. Lean into those moments. We're about to step into a completely new chapter. For some, it's off to a 4-year college. For others, it might be trade school, the military, or maybe a little time to figure it all out. And that's okay too. Whatever your path is, remember this. You are in charge of your story now. Looking back, we've shared so many moments, from cringy elementary school years to the beautiful chaos of high school. We've been through it all. field days, remember the Gaga pit, awkward middle school dances, guys in one corner and girls in the other, the stress of freshman year, and the miracle of surviving group projects. We made memories through our sports teams, theater productions, club meetings, choir concerts, and our final year traditions like Powder Puff. Shout out Nola and Peyton. Senior sunrise, our kid backpacks, something that was supposed to be for one day, but some of us carried around all year. And of course, painting our parking spots way more artistically than we expected. We had homecomings, proms, spirit weeks, and hallway traffic jams. We struggled with homework, lost assignments, and felt the collective trauma of group chats that suddenly went silent the night before a project was due. But we also grew up, slowly, quietly, and then all at once. We had our awkward teen years, we had the glow-ups, some of us were more shocking than others. We had moments where we doubted ourselves, where we let other people's opinions define us. But guess what? We got stronger. We learned that we don't have to be the person people expect us to be. We can decide who we want to be, and we can become that person every single day. You don't have to stay stuck in an old version of yourself. You're allowed to recreate yourself to outgrow places, people, and even fears. You have survived every hard day that's ever come your way, and that's not nothing. That's strength, that's resilience. That's a foundation you could build a whole future on. So, as we leave today and walk into whatever comes next, whether it's college, a new job, boot camp, or the unknown, don't be afraid to do something that scares you. That fear, that's proof you're growing, that's proof you're living. Congratulations, class of 2025. I would now like to introduce Matthew Ho, our valedictorian.
Good morning, family, friends, faculty, administration, Board of Ed members, and the class of 2025. I want to begin by thanking God, my friends, my family, and my teachers for all that they've done to grant me the privilege of speaking before you all today. I've always found it interesting that they think it's a good idea for the people with the highest GPAs to speak. No offense, Cheyenne, but I think we're antisocial nerds who just study all day long and have poor people skills, but here goes nothing. I have a question for the audience. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? Maybe you've heard this question thrown around on social media, especially to guys. I, for one, definitely think about the Roman Empire on a daily basis. The togas, the gladiators, the Caesar salads, and of course, the vast empire they built stretching all the way from the British Isles to modern-day Iran. However powerful this empire was, it did, in fact, evolve. Take modern-day Istanbul. While scrolling on Insta, when I totally should have been studying for physics, I came across an image from that beautiful city. A city once in the grip of this empire. It was a building containing layers that reflected different eras of its history. At the bottom, there are Roman columns, followed by Byzantine arches, then glimpses of Ottoman architecture, and finally, more modern elements from when Turkey became a republic. That image reminded me a lot of us, the graduating class of 2025. Our lives are often built in layers. We're constantly evolving and growing from the original path given to us. Sometimes, there are segments, clearly defined eras of one's life, like our upcoming transition to adulthood. Other times, the lines are more blurry, a gradient. You know, like when you slowly stop playing with your Legos every day until they're eventually sitting in a tub in the basement. Ultimately, if you don't take moments to slow down and reflect on your current state, you might not recognize how far you've come and who you've become. Our change isn't always linear, and it isn't always differentiable. In other words, not smooth and continuous. And that's when I began thinking about the Hagia Sophia. Let me explain. This architectural feat in Istanbul might best be described as a mosaic, where stones from Egypt and Syria meet inscriptions from Vikings, where columns from the Temple of Artemis meet murals with biblical themes and Islamic minarets. I think this three-dimensional hodgepodge is a much better representation of who we are. We are collections of the different people we have been at different moments in our life. The Shopkins kid, the Fortnite fanatic, the Sabrina Carpenter stand. They might only exist for seemingly brief periods of time. You may try to cover them up, but those layers are still there. They're all still you, worthy of respect, worth remembering. And, better yet, I think we can learn something from each of them. Sometimes it's necessary to revisit or revive the people that we used to be. Sometimes the lessons learned are applicable for a lifetime. I hope we never forget the curiosity of childhood. I hope we retain some of the impulsiveness and enthusiasm of adolescence. And I hope we will develop a sense of wisdom that so many of us associate with adulthood. To quote the 11th Doctor from the British sci-fi show Doctor Who, "You've got to keep moving, so long as you remember all the people that you used to be." I will not forget one line of this, not one day, I swear. I will always remember when the doctor was me. I hope you, my classmates, will always remember who you were as well. Thank you.
Good morning. Congratulations, graduates, and congratulations, parents and families. This day belongs to you in recognition of your successes over the years. Graduates, be grateful for your parents and all who provided nurturing and guidance for you. Thank you to the administration and to teachers tasked with the vital job of educating our youth. You have our eternal gratitude. Graduates, on behalf of the administration and the Board of Education, we are delighted in your growth and your achievements. Many of you have excelled in academics, sports, music, theater, dance, and the visual arts. All make life worth living. Some of you will attend college to further your education, while others will learn a trade that will sustain you and provide purpose for you for a lifetime. Important supplements to your high school education were the resources available to you to discover and develop your individual talents and passions. Back in the 1950s, an Oxford University philosopher, Isaiah Berlin, not to be confused with the composer Irving Berlin, wrote an essay called The Hedgehog and the Fox. During World War II, Winston Churchill invited Irving Berlin, the composer, for lunch when he meant to invite Isaiah Berlin. Before realizing his blunder, Churchill got as far as asking Irving Berlin, the composer, about the politics of war. Luckily, Churchill didn't take any advice Irving Berlin may have offered for fighting the Nazis. But this essay by Isaiah Berlin boils down to this point. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. I cite this essay because we live in a rapidly changing world. Renaissance people are defined as well-rounded and skilled in several fields, and would be the foxes in Berlin's essay. Examples of Renaissance people from the past are Aristotle, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Shakespeare, while Hegel, Dostoevsky, and Nietzsche were varying degrees of hedgehogs. Of course, grouping human thought into two categories is wildly simplistic, but it provides a starting point for further discussion. Two examples of elite modern-day Renaissance people are Mae Jemison and Elon Musk. Both have expertise in multiple fronts. Both are pioneers. They have made civilization-enhancing breakthroughs in spaceflight, medicine, engineering, and physics, among other essential technologies. Technology, including artificial intelligence, makes it hard to know what jobs or skills will be in high demand or even exist in 5 years. Colleges tend to offer specialty programs, turning out hedgehogs who center on one main idea, where one can argue they should turn out more eclectic foxes who draw on several disciplines and who have multiple skills. You may find it advantageous to diversify your studies. After graduating, self-study is essential. Education is a lifelong process. Build a personal library that reflects the person you are and the person you want to be. It was golf legend Gary Player who said, "The harder I work, the luckier I get. Hard work pays off and is essential to the American dream." The path to success is not always a straight line. Inevitably, there will be failures and setbacks in life. To paraphrase Confucius, defeat comes from not getting up after you've been knocked down. I asked my wife, Darlene, for advice about this speech. She said not to be long-winded. I can't imagine why she would say that, but I'm sure my colleagues on the board can't imagine why either. She would say that either. But in conclusion, graduates, seeing you today and knowing your accomplishments, I'm extremely optimistic for your futures and the innovations you will contribute to and experience. Some of your contributions will be in fields that don't even exist today. Congratulations again, and best wishes for continued success in all of your future endeavors.
I'd now like to ask Jack Rea and Sheethel Abraham to come up to the front tables to confer diplomas. Just go on either end. As we announce the graduates, I just ask a favor, please don't hold your applause to the end so you don't drown out the next graduate's name. I'd like to ask the first row to stand. Gianna Grace Imperati.
Sophia Cameron Garcia.
Ethan Ross.
Vratika Kalaru.
Matthew Ho.
Kayla Gordillo Asitembe.
Cheyenne Liu.
Sydney Rose Atwell.
Tanish Vyas.
Eleni Antonetta Calicchio.
Hassini Talluri.
Lilith Eve Dowd.
Tista Tulsian.
Manha Fatima.
Kiara Toribio Ganel.
Satya Samita Gabita.
Sophie Italiano.
Sophia Gaza.
Do Win Mai Tran.
Hemashri Mahesh.
Charmy Dave.
Hazley Solano.
Gabrielle Carvajal.
Meshva Shah.
Shamik Chakraborty.
Shivanshi Bhatnagar.
Abik Chakraborty.
Jia Dunani.
Mahira Tarpara.
Sia Dunani.
Priti Patel.
Nadine Almorsi.
Jia Manish Patel.
Gabriela Sarah Farah.
Valerie Mendez.
Corinne Genovese.
Parnika Khanna.
Amelia Grace Murata.
Judy Halal.
Fika Mir.
Simra Farhan.
Zoe Mirante.
Isha Desai.
Nikki Patel.
Sydney Beeler.
Peyton Elizabeth Poff.
Prisha Bakshi.
Krisha Shah.
Jada Danielle Jones.
Larissa Alismar.
Ashika Arunatagi.
Lily Calamita.
Ava Vicencino.
Shubi G. Jakar.
Jimena A. Manika Vasquez.
Juliana Elise Jolly.
Riley Mogan.
Pragna Mandava.
Swati Mahajan.
Palki Verma.
Samuel Lau.
Brandon Proctor.
Santos Yair Suedos Ayaz.
Samiksha Rajiv.
Shri Mathrai Edam.
Miguel Angel Medrano Reyes.
Anika Aurora.
Cynthia Lizeth Cristobal Rojas.
Alexandra Acevedo.
Addison Thielman.
Jacob Tran.
Gabrielle Gwendolyn Vega.
Matthew Torderici.
Allison Kai.
Lydia Terrell.
Rishika Gohil.
Harini Taluri.
Suzanne Irwin.
Christy Shao.
Kaylee Kornreich.
Mahi Patel.
Maya Lau.
Marwa Malik.
Shania Mott.
Sophie Hutchinson.
Raina Parikh.
Laura Habib.
Diego Vargas Paz.
Joshua Vicente Camaro.
Attila Togam Savachi.
Madeline Bland.
Arsha Tarani.
Jaylene Acosta.
Rosha Tarani.
Shambhavi Tawar. Vahishta Sheikh.
Mursal Alzala.
Crystal Portillo.
Nola Ann Anderson.
Nadir Pettyway.
Grace Bokar.
Krishna Patel.
Tabitha Dennis.
Ali Kimburis.
Justin Eisner.
Isabella May Kelson.
Allison Flemio.
Denasia A. Gibbs.
Dina Ignacio.
Marima Davutelani.
Sophia Nichols.
Anisha Das.
Manav Patel.
Ilario Ricardo Cruz.
Josie Faith Palekia.
Mahima Chahari.
Sydney Tom.
At this time, we would like to invite Board of Education members Matt DeVito and Judy Mayer up to confirm diplomas. Andrew Litian Zhang.
Daniela Rosette.
Benjamin Ucab.
Andrew Cave.
Gerard Aguirre Telelas.
Vikram Devolapalli.
Arya Shawal.
Nicholas Ferreira.
Isabella Brianna Rodriguez.
Gender Harley Garzon Galvez.
Sarah Robinson.
Addison Catherine Martell.
Jade Nikowski.
Dylan Patel.
Brian Metz.
Madeline Laurie Phelps.
Megan Metz.
Hrishikesh Vadi Reddy.
Clark Laforteza.
Fabian Esteban Rincon Espinoza.
Kira Ann Chebyshev.
Samir Saha.
Julia Brutus.
Emma Roder Salcedo.
Shivam Vyas.
Tatiana Marie Isabella Sperling.
Nicholas Robert Spada.
Devin Apici.
Alex Spada.
Joyce Beckett.
Hetvi Sojithra.
DeMarco DeBerry.
Alan Saravanan.
Mohammed Bhatti.
Love Patel.
Christian Chu.
Yurli Goncharenko.
Elizabeth Duffy.
Mason Elzukari.
Keisha Kandalwal.
Daniel Durso.
Arian Mosalden.
Ray Castillo.
Nader Roshani.
Aryan Bhatt.
Adi Shah.
Mohammed Amir.
Yash Sojitra. Keegan Tracy.
Rebecca Antoniani.
Ananya Bargala.
Sunny Yang.
Princey Gade.
Sudarshan Surendranathan.
Caden Mahone.
Marcus Stamler.
Ali Amir Ozilton.
Isabella Grace Rabadi.
Jia P. Patel.
Deep Pankaj Patel.
Charles Saldarini.
Jeremy Park.
Arya Shah.
Caden Gregory Nicolau.
Alex Stringham.
Arjun Narkar.
Kiribaharan K. Uttanamalian.
Rohan Harish Kurani.
Brielle Wallace.
Andrew Bauman.
Jet Zeng.
Xavier Ballesteros.
Martin Angelov.
Devante Andreas Vargas.
Andrew Dehlin.
Raymond Winston Trunk.
Aryan Gajapara.
Tyler Ryan Smith.
Pablo Juarez.
Ryan Nolan.
Mason Drago Kosovich.
Aaron Nathan.
Nathaniel Krawchuk.
Elijah Morris.
Alexander Aryan Kumar.
Anthony Dell.
Aaron Matthew.
Jazir Cruz.
Aman Patel.
Damian Corrales.
Trevor Snellings.
Daniel Conway.
Harry Trella.
Ivan Chen.
Luis Edward Caponegro.
Omkar Chandane.
Slater DiMaggio.
Sean Reese.
Ronald Ellerby.
Vedant Ray.
Owen Zachary Garcia.
Muhammad Rabbani.
Aksha Goyal.
Withun Siviraj.
Maxwell Egan Ingersoll.
Ocean Miller.
Connor Johnson.
Quinn McNulty.
Daksh Kataria.
Jacob Matthew.
Atharv Kumar.
Raphael Josiah Lindsay.
Nathan Lazarov.
Adele Casper.
TJ Peluziak.
Nazia Elijah Jones.
Stefan M. Stokovich.
Azmi Tyas Threfi. Brandon Huang. Gavin Barbrack. Zachary Halbert Pasco. Marcos Antonio Santos. Christopher Betcher. Johan Johnny. Cooper Moffitt. AJ Harry.
We can now move our tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations, class of 2025, you are dismissed.